Hey guys, I'm Stan Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. Now you guys know that I have a lot of questions. I am a creature of questions and try to be a creature of learning, and that is what kind of hit me with this video that I haven't really asked you guys. But the way I want to frame the question for both communities, because obviously both communities will probably pick up on this video, the Planko side and the Planet Zoo side, which is not an often crossover. Happens from time to time, but that is what makes the Planet universe so special. What makes this franchise, this company, this studio, what makes us pour thousands and thousands of hours into this universe, particularly, with Planet Coaster, I have 7,100 hours. With Planet Zoo, I have 4,050 hours. And I think that 3,000 hour difference kind of shows my bias. I'm really heavily into theme park design and, theme park operations. And that has, kind of translated over, my interest has translated over into the digital world, particularly when Planet Coaster came out. I'm not in the theme park business professionally, but I follow it close. And, it's always been kind of a thing of mine. And that's why I just kind of wanted to ask you guys as well, what do you think makes this stick for Planet Coaster people and Planet Zoo people? Did it start with your love of zoos? Did it start with your love of the Zoo Tycoon franchise? Did you ever even play RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 or the Zoo Tycoon games? Was Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo the first time you may have picked up a simulation game? Me personally, I had started, way back in the day, played the original RollerCoaster Tycoon. To show my age, I believe one of the first times I played RollerCoaster Tycoon was, I believe I got it free. I don't believe it was like a box of cereal, but it was in some kind of mailer my mom and dad bought, and it happened to be on there, and I just installed it, and that's kind of where my whole thing started. But content creation, which I know we're not really here to necessarily talk about that really kind of started with RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, though, and that just kind of started my love for this theme park simulation genre. And then, of course, too, it was just like a natural transition when Planet Zoo came out in 2019. Remember, we got about a 3-4 year difference. Planet Coaster, I had a little bit of a head start with Planet Coaster, and that's why, if a lot of people come in and say, man, how do you create all this awesome stuff in Planet Zoo? And I had a little bit of a head start in our whole Planet franchise, Planet universe. And it's always so interesting to me to hear from you guys specifically what keeps bringing you back. And I know a lot of you guys play a plethora of different things. You've got your Final Fantasy people, Resident Evil, Legend of Zelda, tons of other games, Civilization that you sink thousands of hours into. But we're here particularly because the Planet franchise and the fans are such a passionate community on the roller coaster side of things and the zoo side of things. And, we do a lot of complaining, we do a lot of critiquing, but we're always here, as soon as that next update comes out or, that next DLC, we are here and we are, we're ready to lap it up. And I think that's kind of what it kind of sucked for the roller coaster side of things, because pretty much in 2019, when they went the console route with Planet Coaster, we never really got any more DLCs out of that. And a lot of people thought that that could have been more fleshed out, like that game had more life in it. And that's why, if you'll notice when you come and watch these videos, somebody should do a study on this. There's a lot of pent up animosity towards Frontier with the way that Planet Coaster was never technically, it was never officially ended. They just stopped putting out content for it. The updates just stopped kind of when Planet Zoo was ushered in. And then I think a lot of people look at the success of Planet Zoo and how the updates keep rolling out. Like Leaf and Andy and them were saying that something was just updated yesterday that's typically updated right before a DLC is released. So I'm pretty sure something else is coming for Planet Zoo, probably within the next couple weeks, just based on the Steam database files. But, nonetheless, that's kind of like my main question. What keeps you coming back? Particularly if this is a game that, if it's a game in a studio that aggravates the crap out of you, why do we keep coming back and putting in thousands of hours into these games? And Frontier, for me, has always been like my go-to studio, probably to a detriment. I would say over the years, a lot of studios that send people out to look for talent and to look for people that will showcase their game. Honestly, they've probably come to my channel and been like, okay, well, this guy only covers Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. There's no use reaching out to him because he doesn't showcase anything else. Why would we give him that game for free? So it's kind of like what we call the Frontier Pit. Once you get down into that Frontier Pit of only covering these two games, you're kind of stuck in it. It is a very hard fought battle that very few escape from. I think it's ended a lot of YouTube channels. It's, people have just walked away because when you're, when you put a video out that gets thousands of views when you're covering Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo, and then you put out a video of another game that you're really passionate about and have followed the development on and want to make videos on, and it gets 40 views and 2 likes, I'm just being honest, it can be very, very disheartening. And so you kind of get trapped into this Frontier bubble. It's, like I said, it's a really, really fun studio to work with, fun communities. But you really kind of can get into that, like I said, that Frontier rut that you can't escape from. Like the audiences, it's so hard to break out of those, this particular studio particularly if you craft your whole thing, if you craft your brand around one of these Planet games, can be very, very tough. Not undoable, but very, very tough. And I think it's commendable that the few that have been able to, that kind of came in riding on Frontier and riding the Frontier wave and, like maybe only exclusively covering Jurassic World Evolution or Planet Coaster and were able to break out. That is a pretty commendable step in content creation, because I'm here to tell you it's very, very tough. But yeah, that is kind of a little bit of my thought on that. And then too, they're a game. It's a game that you don't really sit down and play these games for 5 minutes at a time. When you really go to sit down and play these, it is you're hours. You're sitting down for hours. You're dedicating hours to this Planet universe. It's just, like I said, it's not like a Tetris or something that you can play for 30, 40 minutes and then not touch it again for a month. It's one of those games where you get projects going. You feel like you've got to run when you have ideas. It's just a really, really engaging type of gameplay. And two, I think with the modular building that's synonymous with the Planet universe is really, really fun, because it's kind of like we've seen with what a lot of people do. You are only held back by your imagination. The tools and the graphics and the lighting and the scenery pieces and the set pieces, it is totally up to your imagination. You can create anything you want almost in these games. And I think that's why it is, it's such an interesting niche, such an interesting genre that just encapsulates you with ideas and projects you want to get done, projects you want to share and show other people. Hey, this is possible. Check out, what I did. And I think that is just that's really what keeps me coming back the most. I love showing off what I was able to accomplish. This is hardly like, it's tough for this game to just be, you just play it for fun and never show anybody. which some people play it like that. But I think one of the funnest parts of this game is to build it and show it off to the community, whether you do it on Discord or the forums or in a YouTube setting, Instagram, Twitter. It's just like the whole time you're building in these games, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't wait until they see what I've been able to do. And sometimes, you know, you'll get something done and you'll build for a couple hours and you'll look at it and you'll be like, nah, they're not going to care about this. And then other times you're almost like giddy. You're like, they are going to crap their pants when they see what I've done with this. And plus too, just the Planet universe has created for me like lifelong buddies, lifelong internet friends that, you know, I'll probably never meet in real life, but we speak every day. Like I speak to Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo friends more than like real life friends here in family and, you know, here. So it's just it's a camaraderie. It's a very unique, kind of like a smaller community. You know, of course it has its big gains when a new game comes out. Like we were talking with Planet Coaster 2, you know, thousands and thousands of new people will pour in. And I think that's just a neat thing about it. Like how many of those new people that pour in that'll be out there, that are out there right now, you know, just playing other games that we've never even heard of, will decide to pick up Planet Coaster 2 and start playing it. And bam, we have this awesome new content creator. Like just think about Caesar Creates, think about ZSH Plays, even to an extent Leaf and Simply Savannah, people that we had never heard of in the Planet Coaster days, blasted on the scene with Planet Zoo, and now they're like just everyday staples of the community. Like you go and watch to see what they're doing or what they're coming up with. I think that's what's so fun about this community, how like the cream really rises to the top as far as new creators go, and just new pockets and new communities of people. It's funny, you can look like even back in the Planet Coaster days into the Planet Zoo days now, each little content creator, yes, there's spillage and they have their own people, but each content creator has like their own little pocket community of people. And I think that's what's fun about Planet Coaster and Zoo. Like sometimes I'll go to Leaf's videos or Simply Savannah videos and watch them, and I'll go down through the comments and it's people commenting that I've never heard of in my life. And I just think that's so cool. Like there's all of these creators have their whole subset of communities out there, and it's really fun. That's why collabs are fun. Just because that overlap, you know, people that you just, you know, you think like, man, where are all these people? I don't ever remember seeing any of these names. And like I said, that's fun to just know that these large communities are out there and they're thriving, you know, even 2, 3, 4 years after, you know, Planet Zoo came out. I saw a meme today, or it was a TikTok, and it was a guy on there, and he was like, in 4 months, 2020 will be 4 years ago. And that really kind of just hit me. I was like, what the hell, man? 2020 was 4 years ago. So, you know, this community has just grown, and these two, you know, basically these two universes. And I just can't wait to kind of see what the future holds, you know, for the franchise and what actually happens next. Because, you know, we talk a lot about Planet Coaster 2 and all that, but nobody knows, you know, that's totally speculation. But yeah, anyways, I'll just go ahead and jump on out of here. It was just kind of a thought that hit me earlier this morning, and I thought that would be a neat video. Ask everybody what keeps them coming back. What keeps them coming back to Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo after all these years. So anyways, let me know down below what you think. I'm S.Dan Wolf. As always, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you.